Hey, thanks for stopping by my channel. In today's video, what I'm dealing with is a 2001 Chevy Malibu. The driver's side power window is off track. When you push the button down to lower the window, instead of the window going down straight, it's going down on an angle. So what we're going to do is take off the door panel. The tool you need looks like this. It looks like a regular screwdriver, except it curves at the end and it has this opening here. Fixing the window on your car, it'll be similar if you have power windows or you have a crank handle window. As I said, this is a 2001 Malibu with power windows, so depending on your make of vehicle, you just have to look for the door screws where they're located. They might be hidden behind some kind of like little panel. And if you have crank handle windows, you're going to have to take off that handle in order to get the door panel off your vehicle. The first thing we want to do is take out the control unit for the windows. Just pop this up. Now it's being held in by the harness underneath. This little black clip that you have to push in order to release it. It helps if you have a small flathead screwdriver to get this clip out. That's one, and then the other clip is on the side. And we'll do the same thing. Just kind of push that clip in and then work it up. And then this will come right out. Now, in behind your door handle, there's this screw. You're going to need a T15 bit. So, there we go. Let me zoom out a little. Oh, there we go. Looks like that. As I said, it's a T15 bit. Then we're just going to take out that screw. And now we can remove this plate around the door handle. This is also being held in by your power lock harness. In order to get this power lock harness off, it's very difficult to get this wire piece off, so I'm just going to take off this bezel here. If you insert a pick gently through here, this one corner, it'll pop right up. And it'll come right out. Now we're going to take off this triangle black piece on the upper corner. Just using our tool. It's just held in with some clips. If you look where your handle is, where you close the door, where you put your hand, there's supposed to be a panel here, or a bezel. When I bought the car, it wasn't on. So what you want to do is just use, the tool just to pop that panel off, and that'll expose two bolts. They're 7mm, so you just want to use a 7mm socket. I'm just using an extension just to make it a little bit easier. And we're going to take those two bolts off. I'm just using a pair of needle nose pliers just to pull it out. It wasn't coming all the way out with the socket. Now we're going to take our removal tool and start prying off the door panel just gently. I'm just going to start. There was window clips that came out. Just work your fingers around. And there we go. And just put the panel off on the side. Okay, with the door panel off, you're going to see a sheet of plastic on here. This is to keep rainwater out from the door itself. So we're going to reuse this. So you want to just carefully peel it back without ripping it. This black stuff is the glue that holds it on. And we're going to do this all the way around. And then just work each piece of wire that's through the plastic, just pull it through. Same thing with the power window harness. With the plastic down, now we can see behind the, or into the door itself. So what we want to do is reconnect the power window control. This way, when we lower the window, we can see what's going on inside. You want to put the key in the ignition and turn it to the on position. You don't have to start the car, just to the on position. Now with everything connected, we're going to lower the window a little bit to see what's happening inside. Now if you can see, I'll zoom in. The window glass, the bottom of the glass is here. This clip is supposed to be behind this washer, behind this bolt, and it's come loose. So that seems to be our problem. If you see on this side, this one is intact and the bolt is down below here. So that clip goes behind that washer and you tighten down the bolt. Okay, as you can see, the window's down a little bit and you know it's crooked, it's not sitting properly. So what I'm going to do is with my fingers, I'm going to push this glass back into the seat where it's supposed to sit, and then I'm going to push that bracket at the same time with the weight of the window. I'm going to push that clip behind the washer. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all this on film, but I'll do my best. Just make sure that bolt is loose enough so the clip will fit behind the washer. Let me show you the other problem I'm seeing as I'm doing this. Now I'm on the outside of the door. As I was pushing down on the window, I could feel resistance. And the rubber on the outer edge of the window itself, on the door frame, is getting wedged behind the window as I'm pushing it down, so I'm going to have to pop that out a little bit with a screwdriver. Okay, all I did was I used my screwdriver and just put it between the window and the rubber and gently slid it down. And that seems to have fixed that resistance problem, so the window I can move a little bit easier now. And just by fixing that rubber, it seems like the clip sat down all the way where it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to use an 11mm socket with an extension and just tighten this down. Although I'm going to have to raise the window a little because I can't get the socket straight in on that. Just going to raise the window up a little bit, just so I can get a socket on that. And we'll tighten this down. It might actually be a 10mm. Okay, I switched to a 10mm socket. We'll see if that's better. Yep. Just want to make sure it's snug. You don't want to shatter the window by over tightening. And as long as we have the door panel off, I'm going to check the other bolt over here on the front side of the window towards the engine bay and make sure that's tightened down. But I'm going to have to raise the window again. Right, let's make sure this one's snug. That was a little bit loose. Alright. Now we'll test it out. We'll lower the window all the way and put it up a couple of times to make sure it's working. Okay, let's test it out. Seems good going up. Good going down. All right. We should be good to go. Now what we're going to do is put our plastic back up over the door. Just make sure you put the window controls through the opening on the plastic, as well as the door lock switch and the cover for the window buttons. Once you have all the wires and harnesses through the plastic, you want to start at the bottom. Just put a little tension on the top of the plastic with your one hand. Just pull up a little bit. And then from the bottom, just push the black glue back on. But make sure that you leave the opening for any holes for the clips for the door panel to go back on. Don't cover those up. Our plastic is all back on. Now we're going to put the door panel back on. Before we put the door panel back on, we want to take off this control panel for the power windows. We're just going to do the same thing we did before. Okay, just going to take the door panel and just feed your cover for your power window buttons through here. Any other wires you need to feed through. You want to hang the top on first. And then you just want to kind of push to get those clips to pop into place. Then we're going to take our two 7mm bolts and put them back in. If you have the bezel or the panel that goes here, you can put that back on. Now we're just going to hook back up our power window wires. I put the cover back on. Those metal clips that fell out before, I put those back on. There's 3 of them that go on here. This piece is broken. It was broken when I got the car, so I'm not bothering with that clip. But we're just going to put these connections back together. And then we can tuck this in. Now we'll take our panel for the power door lock. We're gonna clip this back in. Then we gotta feed the handle through that hole. And then we'll put our bolt that we used, our T15 attachment, back on. And that's it. We're basically done. So I hope this video helped you out. If it did, I'd appreciate it if maybe you give it a like and click subscribe. I have videos out every Thursday and Friday on home repairs, car repairs, maintenance and stuff. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next video.